Hey, it's the Big Man Genesis from Power 96.5, sitting in with Dr. Michael McLeod, one of our 2024 Lansing legends. Dr. McLeod, how are you today?
I'm fine.
Great, great. Thank you for allowing us a little bit of your time on today. So, off the air, we were talking about what Lansing Legends is. How does it feel to be nominated as a Lansing Legend?
It's tremendous honor, really.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And again, congratulations for the nomination.
Thank you.
So most people that have been nominated or people that we've considered, they have a daily routine. Do you have a daily routine? And if so, what's that look like?
I do, but of course the days are different.
Sure.
So I'm in the operating room 2 days of the week, so that's a Monday and a Friday. Tuesday is when I do most of my administrative business meetings, etc., as chief of staff of Sparrow Hospital. Wednesdays all day I'm in clinic, so I'm seeing patients from 9 to about 5 o'clock. Okay. And Thursday is my only day to fill in things that can't fit in those other days. So on a Thursday, I may have additional meetings. I may have to do an operation that couldn't be done on Monday and Friday. So that's what my week looks like, Monday through Friday.
So prior to coming in to work for the day, is there one thing or a couple things that you do to prepare yourself for your work day?
Yes. So many years now, I've gotten into the habit of getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I read. I prepare myself for the day, whether that's preparing for an operation or preparing for meetings that are upcoming. Intermittently meditate or think about just relaxing, because I tend to get a little too worked up.
Sure.
And lately I haven't been doing this as consistently, but doing very little exercise. My exercise routine takes no more than 5 or 10 minutes. I have a rowing machine in my office at home. So 5-10 minutes of rowing or just calisthenics, a few push-ups, a few leg raises, and usually after I go through that cycle, I'm off and running.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I find myself kind of doing some things in the morning to get myself going, and I think I've learned that from my grandmother. I remember she used to get up probably at 4 o'clock every day and do a lot of the same things just to prepare, and she'd always say to other relatives, I've done more within the last 4 hours than you're going to do all day. So,
Yes. Yeah, it's very important to get yourself ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In looking back at your career and different roles that you've had, what would you define as success in those fields and what you're currently doing? What does success look like to you?
Well, easy question to ask, difficult question to answer.
Sure.
For me, I was raised by a single mom.
Okay.
My parents were divorced when I was very, very young. And so for me, family came first. That really filtered into decisions I made about what direction I was going to pursue in terms of career and in what context. So family, being able to raise two independently thinking kids who are really well able to lead their lives effectively, I would have to say that was very important to me. Having a marriage that's now going on its 42nd year, we'll be celebrating our 42nd anniversary. As far as I'm concerned, that's success.
Sure.
I think taking care of patients and being able to contribute to their well-being I've worked hard and made that a focus, and I think I've been relatively successful there. Um, that's it.
Absolutely. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely tying the family, and I really love that part. A lot of times, I've heard, and not from our Lansing legends, just in different times that I've asked that same question. I don't often hear the family. I often hear about awards and money and things of that nature, but hearing the family is really, really awesome. So thank you for that contribution.
Sure.
Now, what would you say in your current role has been your biggest accomplishment?
Well, I mean, I, as of January 1, became chief of staff for the hospital.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And I'm not sure that I've had enough time to accomplish much.
Okay.
But I think what I'm hopeful is that I will be able to help work with the institution, with Sparrow Hospital, and our new reality with University of Michigan, to create an environment and a system where it's easier for practitioners, providers, to do their job, to take great care of patients.
Okay.
I think that all systems have their barriers to that goal.
Sure.
And that will be a focus of mine to help it make it easier for folks to do the right thing and take great care of patients.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, much success in that space. Now, this is probably my favorite question. Going back to maybe your childhood or when you knew there was something that you were absolutely in love with, what would be a career choice if you were not doing what you're currently doing?
Yeah, that's. I thought about that. Well, I have always been fascinated with the way the body works,
Okay.
the way the body functions. My mom was a nurse,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and so I really decided pretty early that I wanted to be a physician.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what, how, but I knew I wanted to be a physician. But having said that, I would probably have been a teacher, a professor, not necessarily a professor in anything useful. I loved philosophy, and but I probably would have been a professor. Growing up, as I said, with a single mom, my mom's brothers were sort of my role models. And one in particular, my Uncle Ben, was a teacher. And he was a teacher's teacher. I mean, if I were going to be a teacher, I was going to be one like him.
Sure, yeah.
And, I don't know how that would have played out in today's world, because he was someone that you didn't have to be afraid of. Exactly what he said on Monday is what he would expect on Friday.
Right.
But if you came to class and you hadn't done your homework or you weren't prepared, you had to deal with the force. And these days, I don't know that that's as acceptable as it was back then. But I'd probably be a teacher, and I'd probably be teaching math or science, since those were the things I enjoyed.
Okay. Well, I tried my hand in the teaching space a few years ago, and I found out that it's not for the weak at heart.
Yeah, it's not easy.
You gotta have very thick skin, especially these days.
Yes.
I was very repentive to my teachers in high school at that moment. I was like, wow, I got a classroom full of me. This is tough.
Yes. Yeah, you've got to have a thick skin. You have to have tremendous patience.
Absolutely.
And you have to be able to break concepts down into little pieces,
Right.
and lead folks along. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, and now with teaching, it's so much technology involved. I know when I was in school, we didn't have iPads and tablets in class.
Right. Right.
Lucky to have our books. So, what advice can you give your 18-year-old self?
I would say be brave and go for it.
Sure.
You have to prepare yourself. You do have to understand what it will take to accomplish that goal, but don't be afraid to have goals. Another way of putting it, don't be afraid to dream, because if you don't have a dream, you'll never accomplish it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you've got to start with something that you really want to accomplish, and go after it. Go after it make the commitment to go after it with all your might. You don't have to compromise, but you may need help, and you're going to have to be fairly honest with what you can do and what you need help in getting done. I was very cautious, too cautious, and I think that's what I would tell that person. Go for it.
Go for it. Well, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time today, and congratulations again on being nominated as a 2024 Lansing Legend.
Genesis, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you.